In the heart of a small African village, Mama Naki was a figure of respect and reverence. Her skills as a midwife were unmatched, and she had delivered most of the children in the village. Mothers to be sought her out for her gentle hands and calming presence. She knew the ways of herbs and ancient traditions, and her home was a sanctuary where women came to find comfort and care during childbirth. Her reputation was impeccable, and she carried herself with a grace that inspired trust. Yet, beneath her kind exterior, Mama Naki harbored a dark secret. Unknown to the villagers, she had been selling the newborns she delivered to wealthy families abroad. This nefarious trade had made her wealthy, but it also gnawed at her conscience. Every time she held a newborn in her arms, she felt a pang of guilt, but the lure of money was too strong. She rationalized her actions by telling herself that these children would have a better life far away from the poverty of the village. As the years passed, whispers began to circulate in the village. Some women noticed that their babies had mysteriously disappeared after being delivered by Mama Naki. They were told that their infants had died, but the absence of bodies and graves left them suspicious. These whispers reached the ears of the village elder, Baba Chaik, a wise and observant man who had seen many seasons pass. Baba Chaik decided to investigate the matter quietly. He began by speaking to the mothers who had lost their babies under Mama Naki's care. Their stories were eerily similar, filled with grief and unanswered questions. He also noticed that Mama Naki had recently acquired several expensive items, including a new car and lavish jewelry, which seemed out of place in their modest village. Baba Chaik's suspicion grew, and he knew he had to dig deeper to uncover the truth. Baba Chaik's investigation led him to the nearby town, where he sought out information from the local authorities. He discovered that there had been an increase in the number of foreign adoptions in recent years, many of which involved babies from their village. This information confirmed his worst fears. Mama Naki was indeed selling the village's babies to wealthy families abroad. Determined to gather more evidence, Baba Chaik enlisted the help of a few trusted villagers. Together, they set up a surveillance system to monitor Mama Naki's movements. They took turns watching her house and followed her whenever she left the village. It wasn't long before they caught her making a suspicious trip to the town, where she met with a well-dressed stranger. The exchange of money and documents between them was enough to convince Baba Chaik and his team that they had found the proof they needed. With the evidence in hand, Baba Chaik knew it was time to confront Mama Naki. He called for a secret meeting with the village leaders, including the chief and other respected elders. He presented his findings, and the room was filled with shock and disbelief. The village leaders trusted Baba Chaik's judgment, and they agreed that something had to be done to stop Mama Naki's treacherous actions. The plan was to catch Mama Naki in the act. They would set a trap and gather the entire village to witness her crime. This would ensure that she could not deny her involvement, and that justice would be served. The village leaders coordinated their efforts, making sure that every detail was meticulously planned. They knew that this operation would require precision and secrecy to succeed. The village leaders decided to use a pregnant woman as bait to catch Mama Naki. They approached Neka, a young woman who was expecting her first child and had recently lost her husband. Neka was reluctant at first, but the leaders assured her that they would protect her and her baby. She agreed to help, knowing that her actions could save other mothers from the same fate. Neka went to Mama Naki and pretended to be in labor. Mama Naki, unaware of the plan, took her in and prepared for the delivery. Meanwhile, the village leaders positioned themselves around Mama Naki's house, ready to intervene at a moment's notice. They waited with bated breath, hoping that their plan would unfold without a hitch. As Neka pretended to go into labor, Mama Naki prepared for the delivery with her usual expertise. She had no reason to suspect anything was amiss. However, the village leaders, hidden nearby, were tense and ready to act. The moment they had been waiting for finally arrived when Mama Naki took the newborn from Neka's arms and made a call on her mobile phone. A few moments later, a sleek car arrived at Mama Naki's house. A well-dressed couple stepped out, carrying a suitcase full of money. They handed the money to Mama Naki and took the baby. This was the moment the village leaders had been waiting for. They rushed in, catching Mama Naki red-handed. The couple, realizing they had been caught in the act, tried to flee but were apprehended by the villagers. The village gathered around Mama Nakeshi's house, shocked and angry at what they had just witnessed. Mama Naki, realizing there was no escape, broke down and confessed to her crimes. She admitted to selling the babies for money, justifying her actions by claiming that she was giving them a better life. Her words fell on deaf ears as the villagers' anger grew. The elders also initiated a series of cultural events and ceremonies to honor the village's heritage. These gatherings reinforced the values of unity, trust, and vigilance. The villagers found strength in their traditions, drawing on the wisdom of their ancestors to rebuild their community and ensure a brighter future. The men of the village also stepped up to support their community. They formed a protective network, ensuring the safety of mothers and children. Fathers took a more active role in their families, participating in workshops at the community center and learning about parenting and childcare. This shift in dynamics strengthened the village as a whole. Men and women worked together to create a safe and nurturing environment for their children. The bonds of family and community were fortified, and the village emerged from the crisis with a renewed sense of purpose and unity. Amidst the turmoil, there were many unseen heroes whose quiet actions made a significant impact. These individuals, often working behind the scenes, played crucial roles in uncovering the truth and supporting the community. Their contributions, though not always recognized, were deeply appreciated by those who knew of their efforts. These unsung heroes included the women who bravely shared their stories, the men who protected their families, and the elders who guided the community. Their collective efforts ensured that justice was served and that the village could heal and move forward. Their courage and dedication became a source of inspiration for others. With Mama Naki and her accomplices behind bars, the village began the process of reconciliation. The authorities worked closely with the community to ensure that justice was served and that the victims received the support they needed. This collaboration between the village and the authorities strengthened the bonds of trust and cooperation. Reconciliation was not an easy process, but it was necessary for healing. The village leaders facilitated open dialogues, allowing the community to address their grievances and work towards forgiveness. While the pain of betrayal could not be erased, the commitment to justice and reconciliation provided a path towards healing and unity. The healing process was gradual but steady. The community center played a vital role in this journey, offering counseling and support services to those affected by Mama Naki's actions. The village leaders organized healing ceremonies, drawing on traditional practices to help the community come to terms with their pain and loss. These ceremonies were deeply moving, bringing the villagers together in a shared expression of grief and hope. Through rituals, prayers, and songs, they honored the memories of the lost children and pledged to protect the future generations. The healing process was a collective effort, reinforcing the villagers' commitment to unity and resilience. Forgiveness was a central theme in the village's journey towards healing. While Mama Naki's actions could never be fully forgiven, the villagers understood the importance of letting go of their anger and resentment. Forgiveness was seen as a way to free themselves from the burden of hatred and to create space for healing and growth. The village leaders emphasized the distinction between forgiveness and forgetting. They encouraged the villagers to remember the past as a lesson and to use that memory to build a better future. This perspective allowed the community to move forward with a sense of purpose and determination, ensuring that such a betrayal would never happen again. As the village healed, a new generation of children grew up with the lessons of the past firmly in mind. These children were raised in a community that valued trust, unity, and vigilance. They were taught the importance of protecting one another and standing up against injustice. The community center continued to play a crucial role in their upbringing, offering educational programs and extracurricular activities. The village leaders took an active interest in the children's development, ensuring that they were equipped with the knowledge and skills to contribute positively to their community. The future looked bright for the village, as the new generation carried forward the legacy of resilience and unity. Education became a key focus for the village as they moved forward. The community centre offered classes on various subjects, from literacy and numeracy to health and wellness. The elders also shared their knowledge of traditional practices and cultural heritage, ensuring that the children grew up with a strong sense of identity and pride in their roots. The village leaders understood that education was the foundation for a better future. They worked tirelessly to provide resources and support for both children and adults. This commitment to learning and growth helped to strengthen the community and create opportunities for everyone to thrive. The village leaders, along with the entire community, made a solemn pledge to protect their children and uphold the values of trust and unity. This pledge was formalized in a ceremony at the community centre, where villagers of all ages gathered to reaffirm their commitment to one another. These events included cultural festivals, sports competitions, and communalwerkprojects. The villagers participated enthusiastically, knowing that their collective efforts were building a stronger and more resilient community. The bonds between families and neighbors grew tighter, creating a supportive network that could weather any storm. The villagers' friends was a cause for celebration. The villagers took pride in their ability to overcome adversity and to support one another through difficult times. The community centre hosted a special event to honor the villagers' strength and determination. The event featured performances, speeches, and testimonials from those fraudly affected by Mama Neki's actions. It was a moving tribute to the power of unity and the importance of standing together. The villagers left the event with a renewed sense of hope and confidence in their ability to face any challenge. These events included cultural festivals, sports competitions, and communalwerkprojects. The villagers participated enthusiastically, knowing that their collective efforts were building a stronger and more resilient community. The bonds between families and neighbors grew tighter, creating a supportive network that could weather any storm. The villagers' friends was a cause for celebration. The villagers took pride in their ability to overcome adversity and to support one another through difficult times. The community centre hosted a special event to honor the villagers' strength and determination. The event featured performances, speeches, and testimonials from those fraudly affected by Mama Neki's actions. It was a moving tribute to the power of unity and the importance of standing together. The villagers left the event with a renewed sense of hope and confidence in their ability to face any challenge. Tradition played a crucial role in the villagers' journey towards healing. The elders sought their knowledge of ancestral practices and rituals, which helped the villagers to find meaning and solace in the face of tragedy. These traditions provided a framework for understanding and processing their experiences. The village leaders emphasized the importance of preserving and honoring these traditions. They organized workshops and storytelling sessions where the elders passed down their wisdom to the younger generation. This connection to their cultural heritage strengthened the village's sense of identity and continuity, providing a foundation for their resilience. The village's unity was its greatest strength. The villagers understood that they were stronger together and that their collective efforts could overcome any obstacle. This sense of unity was reflected in their daily lives as they worked together to support one another and to build a better future for their children. The village leaders continued to foster the spirit of cooperation, ensuring open communication and mutual support. The villagers knew that they could rely on each other and this trust and solidarity became the cornerstone of their community. The villagers' unity was a powerful force, ensuring that they could face any challenge with confidence and determination. Their eldest wisdom was invaluable to the village. Their experience and knowledge provided guidance and stability during the crisis and in its aftermath. The villagers looked to the elders for advice and support, knowing that their insights were rooted in a deep understanding of their culture and history. The village leaders ensured that the elders' voices were heard and respected. The village leaders understood that supporting mothers was essential for the well-being of the entire community. They worked to ensure that mothers had the resources they needed to care for their children and to thrive. This commitment to supporting mothers helped to create a nurturing and supportive environment for all families. Empowering women was a central goal for the village. The community centre offered programs and workshops to help women develop new skills, gain confidence, and achieve their goals. This empowerment was seen as essential for the well-being of the entire community. The village leaders encouraged women to take on leadership roles and to participate in decision-making processes. This shift in dynamics helped to create a more inclusive and equitable community. The women of the village became a powerful force, contributing their strengths and talents to the collective efforts. The men of the village played a crucial role in supporting their families and community. The village leaders encouraged men to take an active role in parenting and to participate in programs at the community centre.